What's up guys, Ruppy here, welcoming you to week 2 of the Pokemon Battling Association League. My Columbus Swoo are already off to an incredible start at 1-0 plus 5, thanks to Volcarona basically doing Volcarona things last week. The hacks kinda made it a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth, but sometimes that's the game you play when you're dealing with moves that have imperfect accuracy. You know you run that risk. Anyway, we are going to not dwell on that for long because obviously we have a new challenge ahead of us. Also, I've kind of decided I'm just going to go ahead and merge my team builder and battle videos together just as I do with BBR. Just because I think that makes it easier on me editing wise in the long run. It cuts down on the number of videos I have to edit and render every week. So, with that out of the way, you see my team enjoying their time in our locker room in the frigid snow, as just seems befitting of the Lake Erie Kyurem. My Columbus were more world travelers. Lake Erie Kyurem, they're just kind of fine dealing with the snow that our mascot would bring. Anyway, let's go ahead and leave the locker room behind for a moment and shift gears towards the chalkboard portion of this team builder part of the video. So for week 2, we are playing the Showtime Shadows, coached by Insanity. That is quite the username. His roster will be appearing off to the right. His team consists of the following: Excadrill, Mimikyu, Tangrowth, Drapion, Gigalith, Sigalith, Slowking, Licky Licky, Stoutland, Togetic, and his G-Max, which is Cinderace, which, by league rule, does have to be Blaze. I'm pretty sure Cinderace as a whole has to run Blaze. Libero Cinderace is banned, much like in BBR. So aside from a couple of mons that have some similar sounding names, the big thing that stands out right out of the gate is that I'm running into a Sand team. Also the fact that this is once again, I'm playing in 2 leagues simultaneously, and I'm playing at least one mon that is pretty much the exact same between the 2 teams I'm playing between both leagues, that being Mimikyu in this case. But obviously Sand is the greater threat that stands out here. You've got Gigalith to set Sand. Actually, I kind of face a Sand offense to some degree. I kind of have a Sand offense playing BBR as well. Should that be how that game plays out, but I'll leave that for that video. This is definitely a more obvious Sand team, though. I mean, Excadrill is pretty much Sand Rush incarnate. Stoutland can abuse Sand. Gigalith can set Sand. He's got Slowking and Tangrowth as a Regenerator Core. Mimikyu with Disguise to hide behind. Sigalith can obviously be a colossal pain because of its infamous Psycho Shift, Flame Orb, Cosmic Power shenanigans it can pull. G-Max Cinderace is also quite interesting because I believe all 3 of the Galar starters, their signature G-Max move basically ignores... Is it completely ignores Protect or ignores buffs? Something like that? It'll show up in the video what exactly it does. I can't remember off the top of my head. So, how am I going to deal with this, you ask? Well, first off, despite the 6-kill onslaught it unleashed last week, Volcarona is kind of sitting on the bench this week. As much as I love the damage it did last week, this is a game where it's not quite as useful. Sand is just something that Volcarona does not necessarily handle too well, so not gonna risk the bug there. But this does give the rest of my team a chance to shine. Starting with Monokuma, the Pangoro. Before anyone says anything, for those of you who are watching me from BBR and might recognize this name from my good pal Platinum Howler, I think I actually preceded him in running a Pangoro nickname Monokuma in a league I used to upload on an old channel I had specifically dedicated to Pokemon stuff before I merged that into this one way back in the day. But Danganronpa references aside, I'm running a Mold Breaker Choice Scarf Pangoro this week. Parting Shot allows me to abuse the Scarf to be able to at least lower the status of something, so Monokuma can create some havoc and then get right on out of there. Close Combat is just stupidly powerful stab. Gunk Shot is for things like Mimikyu, which, thanks to Mold Breaker, Mimikyu's disguise is completely irrelevant if Pangoro's able to get a free shot off on it. Togetic really doesn't want to be taking a Gunk Shot from this thing either. Darkest Lariat's the key move here, however, because, plain and simple, Darkest Lariat ignores all defense buffs. So, should Insanity try to pull Cosmic Power Sigilyph shenanigans on me, first off, not only will Pangoro be immune to Stored Power by virtue of being part Dark, but those defense buffs will mean absolutely nothing if Pangoro can just come in and smash the thing with the Darkest Lariat. Sigilyph is not something I want to be getting swept by, and Monokuma is basically my grade A weapons answer to make sure that does not happen. 244 speed with a Scarf allows me to pretty much outspeed pretty much everything except for his Sand Rush Sweepers should Sand be up. Though, that's kind of a given at this point. I don't think anything on my team can outspeed his, even Stoutland under Sand. Excadrill, certainly not. But, Monokuma is still able to come in, do some damage, and be a colossal problem in this game. Next up, we have Bandolier the Sandaconda coming back again. Sandaconda's actually kind of a good check to Sand, not gonna lie. And not just because it's a Sand Setter in its own right because of Sand Spit. I'm not running that this week, however. I'm not going to give him potential extra Sand. I'm running Shed Skin instead. I know it is not the most reliable option in the world for getting rid of status, but it can still come in handy. I've got Leftovers to heal. This is basically a Coil Rest set with Earthquake and Stone Edge to cover everything Bandolier would really need to hit. Pretty much just otherwise pure bulk from there. Coil will take care of any attack boosts I may need. So Bandolier's main purpose is just sitting in here, eating hits from his Sand Sweepers especially, coiling up, resting off any damage, and then going to town from there. Moving on, we have our G-Max Duraludon, the Shard. This building is looking to see some action this week, considering last week it basically was just on my active roster. That's about all I can really say about it. This week it might get its chance to shine, however. I've got a 252 attack with a modest nature, 36 defense to be able to give me some physical bulk to fall back on. 220 speed. I believe is guaranteed to outrun... I want to say Adamant Stoutland before Sand was the intent. It's been a few days since I built this team, but I'm pretty sure that was the general idea behind this particular speed spread. But I wanted the Shard to be able to be somewhat fast, but at the end of the day, this thing is mostly meant to kind of eat hits. Weakness Policy will give me +2 attack and +2 special attack, which will certainly help. Iron Defense and Body Press should definitely make for an interesting time. Being able to boost up my defense to be able to take on especially his Sand Sweepers better. And definitely destroy them, because Duraludon's defense is stupidly high to begin with. Flash Cannon for stab, as well as additional defense buffs with Max Steel Spike. And Dark Pulse to cover the likes of Sigilyph and Slowking. And I guess to a lesser extent Mimikyu, though I'd probably be just firing off Flash Cannons on that thing anyway. Moving on, we have our Raider, Haxorus. Now, this is quite the interesting little idea my front office and I have cooked up for this game. So what we've got going on here, it's a fairly standard spread, which I think just honestly works the best for Haxorus here, just because I've got potential Sand staring me down, obviously. But this is a White Herb set with Swords Dance, Scale Shot, Close Combat, and Poison Jab. Close Combat obviously destroys the likes of Excadrill and, to some degree, Drapion, Gigalith. Poison Jab is for Mimikyu. Scale Shot is one of the new Isle of Armor Move Tutor moves. It is only 25 base power with 90% accuracy, which is interesting. But it's a 2 to 5 turn hit move. And regardless, after the last hit, Haxorus loses 1 defense, but gains 1 speed. If I'm able to get a +2 off of Swords Dance, not only is Scale Shot actually hitting quite hard, even from, say, 2 or 3 hits, but the speed boost will definitely put a lot of additional pressure on Insanity, especially since that defense drop will just go straight away, courtesy of the White Herb. So, I've got that working for me. I think this Haxorus could actually put in a lot of work if I play my cards right. Next up is Aria, my Primarina, making her long-awaited debut. And, of course, we have to play with some interesting sets because screw sand. So, to that degree, Aria's bringing Rain Dance to this game. Really, it's primarily there for 2 reasons. 1, to boost its own moves, which I will get to momentarily. And 2, the more obvious one, getting rid of sand. Wise Glasses is a familiar item for anyone who has watched my IBL run. 1.1 times special attack, or 1.1 times boost to all special attacks. Max special attack, some bulk. The 92 speed... I'm pretty sure it's to guarantee I outrun Tangrowth at all times, I'm pretty sure. But I also have the Liquid Voice ability, which effectively makes Hyper Voice a water move. So that plus Moonblast and Ice Beam actually pretty much covers everything I could really need to out of this game against his team. Aria's actually... This is Fairy Water Ice coverage is actually really solid against this entire roster, I realize now. Probably because of the heavy focus on sand. And last but not least, also making its debut at long last, is my Heliolisk Shock Collar. Now, since he's bringing sand, normally I don't like running Sand Veil, but if you're going to give me sand, if you're trying to abuse it, I guess it's only fair if I try to turn it against you. Leftovers are there to heal. This is basically a sub-toxic Heliolisk with Surf and Thunderbolt to pretty much serve as all the coverage I would really need. Ideally against things that I wouldn't be hitting super effectively, like Tangrowth, I could just sub up on that thing and get a Toxic off. That and Slowking, I would definitely appreciate wearing down. Same with Licky Licky and, I guess to a lesser degree, Togetic. The 164 speed basically guarantees Heliolisk outruns everything that is not named Gmax Cinderace. Obviously, Excadrill and Stoutland in sand are excluded. Outside of sand, yeah, Shock Collar can outrun them. But ideally, if I can have a sub up when Excadrill comes in, oh, that thing is not going to like eating a Surf. So that is the team, and I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to my locker room now. And my team's just kind of chilling in the snow, getting ready to, unfortunately, leave the pleasantness of the cold behind in order to contend with the grainy, gritty sand that we are about to be pelted with. But here's to hoping we are able to still get the job done. So, with that said, I will see you guys when it's battle time. Alright, it is time to get this underway. 20-minute timer once again. This should be interesting, as always. Either way, good luck, have fun to Insanity. And let's see if my Lake Erie Kyurem can go 2-0. Alright. I do not have a notepad open. I probably should do that quick. Anyway. So let's see. He brings Licky Licky, Gigalith, Gmax Cinderace, Excadrill, Sigalith, and Tangrowth. So on the plus side, he only brought one of his bulky regenerator things, though Licky Licky's probably cleric support. Of course, he brought Gigalith and Excadrill at least. Thankfully, no Stoutland. This is roughly kind of what I had a feeling I would see. So, in that regard, I think I'm actually going to lead Aria. Because, honestly, I could definitely see him leading Gigalith and trying to get Sand set up right out of the gate. Alright, here we go. Good luck, have fun, Insanity. And let's see how this plays out. So I'm leading with my Prima. He is going to lead with Tangrowth. Huh, he actually called that. I'm a little surprised. On one hand, though, if he's not AV, I straight up destroy this thing with an Ice Beam right here and now. And I'm actually going to do that. I want to see how he plays. He is going to stay in, so I guess we find out if this is AV Tangrowth or not. That is AV, alright. And there go my wise glasses. Ugh. So you are definitely AV Tangrowth, and I'm getting Aria out of here now. Ooh, what do I actually want to go into in that regard? I guess I'll go into Shot Collar? Because at least that way I can Toxic this thing and go from there. He's physical. And I just... There goes Shot Collar right out of the gate. Good lord. I don't think that crit mattered at all. Yikes. Okay. So this Tangrowth is actually a bit more of a problem than I thought it was going to be. Good to know. I could go into Monokuma right now. I mean, if he's more special bulky because he's AV... I'm gonna go into Raider instead. I'm gonna take this as a chance to try to get, Haxorus set up a bit, I suppose. I'm just gonna straight up Swords Dance on this thing. If he wants to knock off... Losing my Power Herb would suck, but... Honestly, I don't think I'd really No, he's just gonna switch and activate Regenerator. Fair enough. So he goes into Licky Licky, which is a very interesting decision to make. I could straight up destroy this thing with a close combat now. Instead, though, I think I'm going to Scale Shot just to start getting the speed boost out of this. There's 1. There's 2. 3. Only 3. That's going to lower my defense, which the White Herb is going to offset. I am going to get a speed boost out of it, though. And he's packing Ice Beam on this thing. Okay. Good to know. Interesting. Though, I'm going to go for a second Scale Shot, just because... At this point, I think once Haxorus gets a +2, this, this might actually be, potential ball game. Alright, so Haxorus is a +2 speed now. It is at -1 defense at this point from Scale Shot. But, honestly, that's fine. Licky Licky's gone, and... I actually kind of think Haxorus is kind of in a spot to basically just start destroying everything at this point. There is Gigalith, which is going to set up Sand. So, I want to be absolutely certain of something before I make this next move. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to click the close combat button because Haxorus should... Yep, there goes Gigalith. Well, is this going to be 2 weeks in a row where I basically get a 5-0 win with one Mon basically doing single-handedly sweeping everything? Because I think that's what Haxorus is about to do. I think Haxorus is about to follow in Volcarona's footsteps from the previous week. And if that's the case, well, actually, maybe not, because this thing is here now. You have to be Blaze, but... Yeah, I don't kill you if you... I don't straight up kill you if you're, Well, let me double check, actually. I'm gonna Scale Shot, because if I actually get a 5-hit roll with Scale Shot, Haxorus actually could kill Cinderace even while maxed, depending on his spread. So, we will see how this goes. This is literally... Whether or not Haxorus basically ends up single-handedly replicating what Volcarona did last week boils down to how many Scale Shot hits I'm about to get out of this. So that's 1... There's 2. I'm gonna get 3. And of course 3 is where it's gonna end, which is of no surprise to me. I had a feeling that would be the case. 3 seems to be the norm for this. And a Max Knuckle. Okay, now we may have a bit of a problem. I'm going to assume that's High Jump Kick that he just threw out. Okay. So if he is at +1... I think I can go into Bandolier, actually, and kill this thing. I'm just gonna fire off an Earthquake, because it should do enough to kill the Cinderace. And I don't believe this... Yep, Bandolier's gonna live the G-Max Fireball. And this Earthquake is gonna be enough to kill Cinderace. Alright, so that is his G-Max off the board, thankfully. Bandoleer's gonna recover some HP, which is always appreciated. So, I would not be surprised to see Drill. Yep, there is Drill. I had a feeling I was about to see this thing. How many turns of sand does he have left? It says 2, but I don't trust that. I'm gonna try resting up and seeing what happens, but... Yep, there goes Bandolier. Alright. You are not Life Orb. So if I were to go into Aria right now... I'm at 152. I should be able to actually take a hit from this thing and get rid of its, and at least get rid of the sand. So I'm gonna do just that. We're gonna get this Rain Dance off. He's gonna Earthquake, which... That actually killed me! Are you Banded Drill? Well, there goes the sand. But I think this is Banded Drill. And in that case, we may actually have a potential problem. We may actually have a potential problem here. I'm gonna go into the Shard. I have an idea here. Unfortunately, I'm kind of in a position where I have to, I'm gonna Max Knuckle. As he's gonna switch! Okay. Back into Tangrowth we go now. Which is actually fine. I mean, +1 attack's not really going to do me much favors, other than maybe a little more Max Knuckle damage in the long run. As the Shard achieves its true form, just being the building dragon that towers tall. That Max Knuckle's not going to do much. But that is fine, because I think I have a plan. I'm going to start Steel Spiking. Because that at least starts getting me defense boosts, which are going to be crucial when my max wears off. As he Earthquake... He just triggered my weakness policy. He just triggered my weakness policy with Tangrowth's Earthquake. I'm going to Steel Spike again. Because a +2 defense, I want to think, is he's going to go into Sigilyph now. And Sigilyph's just going to die to Steel Spike. Okay, so... I would not... Well, actually... No, he goes back into Tangrowth. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to Iron Defense up. Because I think I might still be able to pull this off if I can get Duraludon enough defense buffs as he Earthquakes again. I'm gonna go to +6. Because I think if I get enough buffs at this point... Alright, I think I'm at the point where I may actually be able... I'm gonna Flash Cannon this thing now. Which is not gonna kill. Okay. So... I'm just gonna go ahead and reveal Body Press to him now, because I know Excadrill's the only mon he's got left at this point. I'm at, what, 55? Yeah, I think Banded Earthquake still kills. Which is unfortunate. I'm just gonna click Body Press anyway, because I really don't have much else option at this point. He is gonna Earthquake. And No, the Shard is gonna live on 1! And that's... I mean... I still had Scarf Monokuma in the back, so that I probably still had that anyway. But... Wow! That was, I mean, the 2-0 definitely helps. Either way. But, all the same, GG Insanity. That was a heck of a game. I thought I had the potential Haxorus repeat of Volcarona's Week 1 performance there for a moment, but it was not to be. G-Max Cinderace would not allow it. Still, though, my Lake Erie Kyurem are going to improve to a 2-0 start. GG again, Insanity. That is going to do it for today. Thank you so very much for watching. I have been Ruppy, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.